Morning, welcome back. Apparently the guy running this channel is an Asian guy who has an Asian mom and a dog who likes Asian food. He also has a passion for learning from prestigious universities like Oxford, known for their infamous Oxford study. That always gets cited whenever an Asian girl introduces her white boyfriend to an audience on the internet. And by cited, I mean a passive-aggressive comment implying, "Oh brother, not another one of these couples again."
Brother, this guy stinks!
Now I can't fully relate to this experience as I've never been an Asian girl with a white BF before, but as a Chinese guy with a Chinese mom and a dog, I can half relate to this situation. Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? So a Chinese girl, a Chinese mom, a white husband, and a brown dog walk into a fancy steakhouse in LA. The dog asks, "What are we reading tonight?" The husband looks over and says, "Nothing for you, cause you're a dog, and walk-ins only seat 2 people, so..." So the guy goes, "And nothing for mom either. See ya." Boo. Hey,
get off the stage!
Long story short, this couple decided to eat at a steakhouse by themselves while the mom and dog waited in the Tesla for them to finish. After this new lore dropped on TikTok, people from every angle and every culture had something to say. Oof, I could never do this to my Asian mom. This is so disrespectful. If it was the husband's white mom, this wouldn't have even been an option. Raggy never do this to Scooby. Aw, that poor dog. Talk about a blindside. Reminds me of when my optometrist told me during my appointment they were moving to a new location on the opposite side of the city. Not even a 2 weeks notice or anything. Unfortunately, I had to say EFPTO, see you later. I gotta find myself a new eye doctor who isn't a 30-minute drive away. Using ZocDoc, a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. They'll find you the most optimal booking that fits into any busy schedule. Pick a time in the day you were thinking about. They'll show you real-time availability and doctor reviews, so you can make the best choice. A lot of people land an appointment within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You could even see someone on the same day. So much better than calling clinics randomly and hoping for the best. ZocDoc's got you covered, from mental health and dental visits to primary care and urgent care needs. Plus, you can filter through over 100,000 doctors based on location, specialty, and if they take your insurance, so you can avoid any medical bill surprises. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Edvasian to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Edvasian, ZocDoc.com/Edvasian. The uproar was pretty bad. Some of the most upvoted comments you would see would go something along the lines of, "Huh, typical, not surprised at all. This couple is the reason why the Oxford study exists." Hold on, about that, I got some questions. Who's the weirdo from Oxford University who decided this was something that needed a whole ass study on? Whole ass study? Sometimes Asian girls will date white guys. What else is there to know? Well, plot twist. The Oxford study doesn't actually exist outside of the chronically online space. This term only blew up because someone said it once, and like a vocal stim, everyone started repeating it until it eventually made its way onto Urban Dictionary and into the comment sections. There's a lot of sides to this. Some see it as a funny meme. Every time you see a 10 out of 10 attractive Asian girl hovering right next to her like a translucent white specter, will be her 5'11" white boyfriend. This breed of white guys are growing stronger every single day at an alarming rate. They even got guides now, teaching you how to rizz up Asian girls. They respond very well to offerings, in the form of boba, matcha, sushi, and maybe a duo queue in League of Legends.
How to Oxford study a 5'4" Asian bad ting has ever crossed your mind? This is how you're gonna do it easy with 4 steps. Number 1 is to be a tall white guy. You don't even have to be that attractive. As long as you're like a 4 out of 10 and you're like 5'10" or higher, then you're probably set. Once you got that covered, join a niche club, dude. All these girls are at like fencing clubs or chess, like weird stuff, but that's where you're gonna find them and that's where you're gonna be able to click with them. Number 3 is a big step, but get her some matcha. Trust me, this is a cultural thing that I picked up over the decades, but it works and they like it and it shows them that you appreciate their culture and you're a cultured man.
Okay, first of all, batting? Bombo clat! TikTok, looking real different these days. Second of all, are we 12 with elementary school levels of Riz? Sure, this might have worked like 5 years ago. Heck, it might have even worked on me. A matcha latte with 7 scoops of matcha is a matcha latte with 7 scoops of matcha. We're looking at the bare minimum here. These days, everyone and their dog knows this stuff. Come on, man, grow up. Only the real ones know the one thing that Asian baddies will always yearn for. is a hearty Dubai chocolate matcha labiu crumble cookie, which you can get at the Seaside Donut Rave. Hey, here's a fun idea. If you ever need a couple's costume for Halloween, all you need to do is show up to the function as an Asian girl with a mid-white BF. Bam! Oxford Study couple's costume. Oh, and only recommending you do this if these are your default races. Don't need anyone swapping ethnicities in this day and age. The meme side of the Oxford Study can be very tongue-in-cheek. Some couples even lean into it, poking fun at themselves. Sometimes the content's a little cringe, but as the saying goes, to be cringe is to be free. Unsurprisingly, there's also a really toxic side. And the couple that left their mom and dog in the car while they ate steaks really felt the brunt of it, as they became the definition of the Oxford Study, according to their comment section.
Mom, I'm so sorry about that. So sorry. That was totally my mistake.
Okay.
Here's what happened. We thought it'd be a cute little family outing, just 3 of us, plus Bao, of course. We picked a restaurant that was literally rated the #1 steakhouse in the US. So we were ready. But plot twist, no outdoor seating, meaning no dog. And another twist, walk-ins only seat 2. So my mom and Bao made the sacrifice. They volunteered to wait in the car so our long drive wouldn't be for nothing.
As Scooby-Doo would say, ruh-roh. Okay, planning-wise, it seemed like none was done. Apparently they drove for over an hour to get to this restaurant. Couldn't have done a Google search or quickly called the place during the drive. You had a lot of time to kill. This all could have been avoided. All they had to do was set the Tesla to autopilot mode, pop that little dog in the front seat. 15 minutes into the drive, someone would have realized, hey guys, we might have to find somewhere else to eat. Hey Bao, make a U-turn at the next lights. Ruh? The more popular the restaurant, the harder it is to get in, especially for the #1 rated steakhouse in the US, whatever that means. Going to a nice restaurant in LA without a reservation is like going to a job interview without prepping. You can wing it, but you probably won't get the results you want. Even a top 50 restaurant in LA won't hesitate to turn you away without a reservation. The place could be like half empty. Casually walking in, hoping for the best, with a dog on top of that, checking to see if the restaurant is pet friendly is like the first thing you do before you even start driving. Otherwise, Bao's gonna have to put on grandma's clothes and start acting like a people. I'm just assuming, if Bao could have had his way, he definitely would have not volunteered his tribute, or whatever she said. Man, these type B personality people, y'all are scary. But you know what? I respect it. The chill, down for anything vibes, but sometimes you be stressing everyone out.
Not exactly the bonding moment we pictured. I end up doing laps, cutting up steak into bite-sized pieces, grabbing food from the restaurant and running it back like their personal server. So in the end, my mom got her steak, Bao got a couple bites too, and somehow it turned into this super funny night that we will always remember.
It ended up just being a little date night for Wei and I.
Restaurant. This is wrong. Not.
It's not. I should have called them. I should have called.
I guess secondhand steak is better than none steak. The mom seems to be the main character in a lot of her content, where she documents her experience immigrating to the US. Looking at this with a content creator brain, I can sort of see what she's trying to cook up. It does make for an engaging story time, although it's probably a funnier if you were their situation. People did not like seeing a nice Asian lady get treated like this by her family. You're a bad daughter, SMH. I would never disrespect my mom like that. I know his white mom wouldn't have been left in the car. At the end of the day, we don't actually know their family dynamics. Typical internet, yapping and saying whatever without any proof at all. But even if the mom said she was fine waiting in the car and everyone laughed while the dog drove them off into the sunset, from an outside perspective, the situation still looks pretty bad. Let this be a lesson to all content creators. There is no such thing as nuance on the internet. Whatever you decide to post is the only thing people are gonna see. And in a 1-minute TikTok, they saw someone's mom on the same level as their dog. And this couple just happened to be an Asian woman and a white man, which gave people even more ammunition to criticize their choices and yell, "Oxford Study Final Boss!" Implying, welp, typical scenario. Asian wife has to give something up to make white husband happy. This was also a big culture shock to a lot of people, with sentiments in the comments like, man, I am too child of an immigrant parent for this shit. I am not whitewashed enough to ever do something like this. Here, let me show you a tier list of values for a traditional East Asian family. At the very top, at S tier, above all else, you have filial piety. Oh, side note, this is one of my least favorite words to say. I don't know, it always just gets jarbled up in my mouth, plus it sounds like I'm messing up when I'm trying to order a big old Spanish paella. Oh, and that's essentially the tier list. Everything else is below and goes wherever. Putting your family first, respecting your parents and elders is super ingrained into East Asian culture. It's not uncommon to see multiple generations living in the same household, so the elderly are taken care of. It's basically like living in a dorm with permanent roommates, where all sense of privacy disappears, and you pay for rent using your mental health. But hey, at least you get free laundry service and free apology fruit. The mom from the steakhouse TikTok actually does live with her daughter and son-in-law, and the mom did make a video in Mandarin trying to diffuse the situation.
这次出去吃饭就是因为我们开过来1个多小时，我女婿说不决定我们不在这儿吃，我们换个地方，已经很饿了，大家都很饿了。我建议不换地方。然后旁边的汉堡我也不爱吃，我从来不吃汉堡，我来美国4年没吃过汉堡，汉堡是我最不爱吃的一个食物。然后呢，我又不会点菜，所以我建议他们俩进去吃，吃完了给我打包回来，我回家吃就可以。我可以带着小狗狗在周围散散步，但是他们没有，他们就是一会儿女婿跑过来，一会儿女儿跑过来，说让我趁热吃，给我上一道菜，他们就给我送出来一道菜。我觉得很有趣，很好玩，是我们不一样的一种体验。大家只看到了这一个短视频，对我们这个很特殊的4口之家不是很了解，我愿意跟大家分享更多我们家的事儿。
Like I said, we don't know their life, but other than this scenario, I don't think they're mistreating the mom on a daily basis. From what I've seen, they do take care of her by teaching her English and paying for all her expenses like driving and language classes. The daughter made a bad call to turn something into content that probably should have stayed private. Or she was playing some sort of next level chess and knew exactly what she was doing? You know the #1 rated steakhouse in the US they went to? They actually responded after the situation, essentially saying, "Oh, we don't have caps on walk-ins. We even have a patio where dogs can sit. No need for grandma disguises at all." Was this whole scenario completely staged for views, which then blew up in their faces when it reached a bigger audience? Who knows? Anyways, why are people so obsessed with commenting Oxford study whenever they see a white man, Asian woman couple? As a matter of fact, it's always quite unprompted. It'll just be a regular couple standing there bing chilling who don't even make content about their interracial relationship. Some of the top comments you'll typically see: Oxford study, Oxford study, Oxford study, Oxford study, Oxford study, Oxford study, Oxford fatigue, Oxford study couple for spring, groundbreaking. Oxford study, Dubai chocolate Labubu. You know when a parent or a pet owner posts their specific way of raising their kids and pets online, and the floodgates for unsolicited advice opens up and suddenly everyone's an expert on dog nutrition? Well, actually, giving your dog too much cheese will cause them to move to France and start their own cheese-making business. The term Oxford study has turned into a way for people to judge Asian women when they date outside their race, generalizing them all as self-hating Asians who love white people. It's not like there's 100 factors influencing someone's decision on who they want to date. For example, is this person nice? Do you guys have common interests, the same values? Does this look like someone who will buy me a 24-karat Benson Boone Le Beau Beau crumble cookie for my birthday? If that's you, DM me. The Asian American identity is also pretty hard to define. So many Asians struggle finding where they fit in. Cause visually, the look is Asian, but is the heart and soul Asian enough? Or does it lean more American? It's like one big spectrum, depending on how you were raised, from super Asian to a touch of Asian. One isn't necessarily better than the other. Personally, I've been feeling super Asian this year with all these new activities I picked up. Badminton, tennis, going to raves, playing League of Legends. I'm scared I'm morphing into one of those East Coast Asians. Funny enough, there is actually an Oxford study that came out in 2010, but people aren't referencing it correctly. It only applies to Asian women-white men relationships in movies, using the 1960 film The World of Susie Wong as context. According to the study, it's generally believed that this film set the stereotypical standard of naive subservience paired with hypersexuality that follows Asian women in the Western world, especially when in relation to the white men that seek them out. The study, however, actually has little to do with real-world relationships, and more to do with the ways these relationships are portrayed in the media. People have a tendency to believe Oxford study couples are really common. Back then, you'd really only see Asian women as sexy love interests for the main character, who was probably a white guy. And Asian men were always the nerdy, feminine sidekick with no riz, who was only there for comic relief. And in our modern times, with all the social media, interracial couples content is also pretty popular right now. My Italian husband hate when I break the pasta. My Korean husband is open-minded, has a iPhone 16 Pro Max, and won't leave mom and dog in a car. Hey, just know, if I ever open a restaurant, everyone's dogs will always be allowed inside. They're part of the family. Except, you gotta sit outside on the patio. Sorry, I don't make the rules here. The imaginary health inspector in my head says we're running the finest fake dining establishment, Naughty Doggy Daycare. Oh, and I guess all your moms, they're allowed inside too, if that wasn't clear. Spots fill up fast though. If you want to reserve a table when we have our grand opening in 2030, just tap the like button on this video. I will personally be at the door with a checklist. Have a good day, try not to be dumb, and see you in the next one.